We head on halfway to our 6-game slate for today, and for those who have just tuned in, Biñan and Mindoro split the 14 under and 16 under divisions. One game each, rubber match coming right up dito sa ating 18 under South Division as we continue to bring you the live action from the country's premier youth basketball league, Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. Games nga po natin today, we are at game number 3 at the bottom left of your screens, and then this afternoon, the hometown team of Cavite City Aces Solar will go up against the Quezon Junior Huskers for their 18, 16, and 14 under matchups. Binabati namin kayo ng isang magandang hapon na ngayon. May init-init na dito sa ating Montano Hall in Cavite City. Jaime Mende are still joined by Coach Noy Africa. Nicole Lim will be joining us later on. Coach Noy, we started in the morning and painit na ang aksyon. Magandang hapon na sa'yo.
Yeah, that's right. And I love it when we start our days with a good morning. We end it with a good afternoon. For you, even, probably gonna end it with a good evening.
And so far, the teams are a bit lopsided for both squads naman. Nauna nga ang Biñan in that 14 under victory, winning big. Mindoro exacting revenge in the 16 under division. So we're up for a rubber match dito sa ating 18 under matchup. And let's talk about the performance of Biñan in their first assignment na immediately in the Game 1 victory and opening day, and how effective this team was against the Quezon Junior Huskers.
Well, after the first two games today being blowouts, we're due for a close one. And for Biñan Tatak, they're looking to maintain their immaculate slate, albeit just 1-0 against the victory against the Quezon Junior Huskers, escaping with the victory 69-63. In that game, they were able to somehow dominate the paint, 40-32. Against, and of course, their bench came to play, outscoring the Quezon Junior Huskers 53-7. And the player to watch for them with his performance in their opening game win, John Cyrus Hemao, finished with 16 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal. And moving over to the side of the Mindoro Berbets, they're looking for their first victory in Season 2 of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. They lost big against the Batangas Baraquitos, 88-58. They allowed the Baraquitos to shoot 53% from the field. They were out-rebounded 46-30 and dominated in the paint, outscored by 40. And fast break points, something that they have to take notice of. Take care of the basketball, not allow the Biñan Tatak to get out in transition. And the player to watch for them, Haniel Briones, in their opening game loss this time. That loss against Batangas finished with 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 steal.
Let's get the game going for game number 3, 18 under division, Biñan at Mindoro, through our venue announcer, Kagawad Balong Rosetes.
Biñan Tatak versus Mindoro Berbets. Guard number 22, Jeremy Godoy. Also at guard number 26, Jan Cyrus Gemao. Forward number 15, Miko Pascual. Forward number 25, Mag Daniel Burgos. Center number 5, Will Lawrence Cabonillas. The head coach of Biñan Tatak 18 under is Coach Rolly Amonello, assistant by Mark Solas, Alan Mangas, and Jello Rosale. And now, time to meet the starters from your Mindoro Berbets. Guard number 13, Andre De La Luna. Shooting guard number 6, Kyle Atawa. Forward number 5, Arvin Lasala. Power forward number 17, Gabriel Lasana. Center number 25, Dean Custodio. The head coach of Mindoro Berbets 18 under is Coach Justin Matthew Moreto. His assistant, Nico Manibo.
About to begin game number 3 of the 6-game slate this Sunday. Starters muna tayo for both squads. Biñan will begin this game with Jeremy Godoy, John Hemao, Miko Pascual, Mark Burgos, and Lawrence Cabonillas. Samantala for Mindoro, we have Andre De La Luna, Hal Atawa, Arvin Lasala, Gab Lacerna, and Dean Costodro, rounding out their 5. This is the rubber match between these two teams. Biñan and Mindoro split their 14 and 16 under assignments. So kanilang mga kuya would want to take home that parang best of 3 series victory for either of their squads para mas maganda-ganda naman ang uwi nila pare-pareho. Mindoro will get the first crack in this ball game. So this is 18 under na, Coach Noy. We're expecting a lot more of execution, physicality, and speed from these players.
Not only that, also the power at which these kids will be able to finish. But for the Mindoro Berbets, they're really looking to erase that last loss, a blowout loss, 30 points to the Batangas Baraquitos, and you're only as good as your last game. So every game is an opportunity to reinvent yourself and forget about that loss, regardless if it's a 30-point loss, a 2-point loss. A loss is a loss, and moving forward, you're just trying to get better and get some victories for your team.
Of course, Biñan coming off that victory against the Quezon Junior Huskers in their home court. Opening day sa Alonte. Hemao giving us a visit early. He is one of the players that you did mention to look out for. Hindi mo naman sinabing to look out for kasi hindi kan siyang mapunta dito sa atin.
Probably just trying to say hello to you and reminding you that he is supposed to be the player to watch in this ball game.
Something about Hemaus in basketball that kind of parang automatic na mahusay sila.
You have to put them to a higher standard even without seeing them play just yet.
Parang, wait. Did you say Hemao? And just like that, thank you.
Right on cue.
Right on cue. Hindi naman tayo pinahiya. Hitting his first outside shot.
Once again, we set the stage. You take the spotlight.
I just love it when that happens. You're speaking pleasantries, superlatives about these players, and immediately they answer the call. Hindi makakabawi dito ang Mindoro. Kasi nagmamadali in terms of that offensive execution was Andre De La Luna in that instance. Early 4-point advantage para sa Biñan. 8 minutes still left in our first as Godoy almost losing that basketball. Locso Burgos inside, short stab Ayaw. Battle for the rebound. Ball will stay with Biñan. Shot clock will reset to 14.
But right now, looking at the lineups, you can see a very distinct height advantage for the side of Biñan. But a little stockier are some of the players of Mindoro, but at that time, unnecessary push coming from Cabonilas.
Pressure on the backcourt. Trying to be applied here and will cause that turnover as Lacerna unable to contain that leather. Turning the ball back over here to Tatak Gel. Haba ng players dito ng Biñan no? Burgos inside. At the basket plus the foul. That height advantage in full display. Burgos adds to his tally now with 3 after that basket. That move brought to us by Pound for Pound Fitness, the official fitness partner of the Junior MPBL. Able to convert on that bonus free throw. Get another opportunity to extend the 6-0 advantage. Make that 8-0 now. Cabonilas.
Cabonilas showing that he can push Lacerna around even with a wider base for Lacerna.
Another turnover dito sa Mindoro Berbets. Will we once again see a flip on the script? 14 under. Mindoro was turnover heavy in that loss against Biñan. We flipped it. Biñan naman ang turnover story para sa kanila in that 16 under matchup. And so far Mindoro following that script, following that theme, having these early turnovers beginning of this game.
Well, so far nga, in the first two games, as you said, you could flip the script. Just give us a script and then leave the name of the team blank, and it would have been still applicable. So let's see if that's exactly what's going to happen here in the 18 and under.
Finally, a basket for the Mindoro Berbets, closing in on almost 5 minutes, being scoreless, and nakaupo na ang kanilang koponan. As Pascual short on his three, trying to track it down, gets his own miss. Inside to Hemao, not napasabit pa ang isang Berbet, his own version of a power move. Brought to us once again by Pound for Pound Fitness, the official fitness partner of our Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
And once again, a result of penetration and a show of unselfishness. This time it's Hemao able to finish, plus the foul.
Early 10-2 advantage para sa Biñan Tatak Gel. You're the Berbets. You lost handily against Batangas in your first assignment. So I'm sure itong mga players na to coming in would like to redeem themselves. And they would talk it over as we have a nature spring timeout called here by Mindoro.
Nakausap ko nga kanina si Coach Rolly Amonelo from Biñan Tatak Gel kanina before the game, and he said aside from winning their first game against Quezon Junior Huskers, ngayong second game nila, mas nagpo-focus daw sila sa defense and offense dahil bago ang mga players nila and they are still on process of adjustments. He also said that they need to correct the lapses na nagawa nila last game at dapat daw maglaro as a team. This game is also brought to you by Pound for Pound, move of the game. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Nicole Lim, for that report. And I guess chemistry for some of these non-school-based teams, always suspect at the beginning of the season.
And, you know, despite the victories, you still want to make adjustments, especially very early in the tournament, as De La Luna able to finally knock one down for Mindoro.
Get another opportunity. Missing on that floater, though. Second chance. Thought about the three. Attacks the lane. Back to De La Luna. Able to hit one earlier. Spins baseline. Just 7 to shoot. Jumper goes. Lead down to 4. 11 to 7. Custodio hits on that jumper.
And a quick 5 points for Mindoro. Cuts the lead down to just 4.
Bonillas, no look. Burgos taps it to himself. Will be clipped once again. Basket and a foul. Burgos, yet another end one to his name.
And that's the luxury of being tall. You are able to tip the ball to yourself, as you see right there. Just an excellent presence of mind and still able to finish despite the contact.
Yung pasa, medyo in traffic eh. But like you said, kaya naman niyang itopikin sa sarili niya. Wonder though if that's still an assist, or does he get credit for an assist to himself?
If he gets credit for that as an assist for himself, expect more kids to keep doing that.
Expect more triple doubles
More triple doubles.
coming our way. But Burgos though, that free throw line hasn't been his friend so far in this game. A little under 4 minutes left in the first quarter. 6-point lead para sa Biñan. Godoy to the streaking Cabonilas.
I'm trying to remember where Godoy used to play.
Mandaluyong
in the 16 and under, is it?
believe so. Pressure from Biñan. Able to be released. Looking to fake out Burgos. Not gonna do.
Again, the advantage of being tall, all you have to do is stay vertical, keep your hands up, able to still get that block.
Can't blame for John Baradas for trying. As Burgos once again almost. But instead will have to earn it from the stripe where he has yet to sink one. Only one free throw pa lang pala. Nako-convert niya out of, I believe, 4 attempts.
And right now, it's the same story for this Mindoro squad. Like in their 16 and under counterparts, they end the penalty very early, 3 minutes to go. And what's worse, they've given at least 2 or 3 pound for pound, foul counted opportunities for Biñan.
Binati ko na nga yung struggles ni Burgos, hoping
To
that I
reverse
could
it.
also flip that script and give him a free throw conversion. Still no go, 1 out of 6 para dito kay Burgos. Though his team still up by 8, 15-7. Almost coming up with that steal, but the Berbets will recover. Pull up, short, tapik, mapupunta kay Nunez. Directing the traffic now para sa Biñan is Montañez. Hemao for another 3 and his second conversion. 2 3-pointers now. For one of the key guys of Biñan. Extends the lead to double digits now at 11, 18-7. Subukan bumawi but short on that attempt. Hemao weaving his way through traffic, trying to loop it up to Burgos but stolen. Looking ahead. Can't finish with that left. Gets another opportunity. Tamang rip through lang and 2 shots will be rewarded para dito kay Gahol. Angelo Nico Gahol. Wonder if he is related to a one Brian Gahol, which I'm pretty sure kilala ni Coach Noy Africa.
I used to play for UP back in the day. Together with Oji Gumatay. I was in first year college when they arrived in UP.
Right.
Right. Okay, I just admitted my age.
18-7, 11-point lead. Empty free throw trip para sa Berbets. Under 2 minutes remaining sa ating first period. This beautiful Montano Hall in Cavite City, where we would like to thank once again Mayor Denver Chua for hosting all of the 6 games that we have for this Sunday sa ating Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season number 2.
And this is one of the venues that, you know, whenever the home team plays, it feels like they're the home team. The home crowd always comes out, and we expect that to be the case when Cavite City Aces Solar plays later on in their own set of 3 games.
Yeah, I can remember several, times that we were here. Tas Cavite, yung team that the Montano Hall is indeed packed. It's dumadagundong
with drums and the whole shebang.
So free throws seems to be a Waterloo for both of these teams so far. Unable to convert is Mindoro, also empty in that trip. Still trailing by 11, 18-7. Hemao this time penetrates inside. Hemao now with 8. Couple of 3-pointers plus that layup.
I think he actually has 11 points already. Hasn't missed from the field 4 out of 4, 2 out of 2 from the 3-point area.
Correct myself. So in double digits now is Hemao. Missing on that layup attempt. Napako na sa pito rito ang Mindoro. Ooh, another power move, this time courtesy of Jasper Matienzo. I think this is the 4th power move brought to us by Pound for Pound Fitness, the official fitness partner of the Junior MPBL. Muscling his way inside. No choice para dito kay Haniel Briones, except to give up that foul.
And that has been the problem for Mindoro. They're giving up too many fouls and yet they're giving 3-point opportunities to Biñan. Luckily for them, Biñan not really doing quite well from the free throw line. Only 2 out of 8.
On the other end, two white shirts sumalubong dito. He has a chance to address those free throw shooting woes. Missing on two earlier. Para kay John Baradas. It's 22-7. 15-point lead built here by Biñan. Still can't get that free throw to go. Mindoro, 0 out of 5 so far in this game.
3 games, third straight game that we have one team with a very strong start, and hopefully we'll have a different result, hoping that Mindoro comes out firing in the second quarter.
Finally a free throw conversion from Baradas, 1 out of 6 are the Berbets. Pero yung nga, Coach Noy, sabi mo that a strong start is kind of half of the equation for a winning team, given the setup that we have in terms of timing. The Berbets, though, able to string some points off that layup coming from Briones. Last shot time if you are Biñan. Hemao making a move, drops it off to Matienzo for the finish.
Great pass right there, and the wide open and the finish for Biñan.
Hemao will finish with 11 to go with a couple of assists. And good for his team to get this 14-point advantage heading into the second. Several pound-for-pound and one moves para sa Biñan. Mindoro trying to stay in it. But the height so far has been a problem para sa Berbets. And at the end of the first, it would be 24-10 in favor of Tatak Gel. About to begin our second quarter of action. You're still watching the 18-under matchup of Biñan Tatak Gel and the Mindoro Berbets sa ating South Division. Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. Mula pa rin dito sa Montano Hall in Cavite City. Jaime Mendihar joined by Coach Noy Africa alongside Nicole Lim. It's 24-10, 14-point lead. Binuo dito ng Biñan after the first 10 minutes of action. Make that 16 now after Matienzo gets another one now with 6 points to go with 3 boards.
I like the skill there by Matienzo in one motion, catching the basketball off the move, still able to finish.
On the other end, Mindoro, great execution there. Custodio gets that basket. Some fresh faces for both these teams to begin the second. As Matienzo turns it over. Ahead to Gahol. All alone on the other end.
Like Mindoro able to get out in transition on a missed basket.
Gahol with a steal. Can't finish on that layup. Gets his own miss. Still no go on the second try. They pull it out. So 12 to work with. Kagikla. 6 to shoot now. Bounces it inside. Custodio will be fouled. First team foul para sa Biñan. So late in 40 remaining. Sa ating second quarter. You might be wondering while the clock is running even after that foul was whistled. So for the first 3 quarters po, and the first 8 minutes of these quarters, we are applying running time. In the last 2 minutes of each of the first 3 quarters, that's the only time that we apply yung stop time.
Of course, the fourth quarter, fully stop time.
That's why we keep on saying, and since nung ating 14 under matchup pa, that if you are leading after the end of the first quarter by a large margin, it's kind of making it probability-wise, make it easier for you to hold on to that lead rather than ikaw yung naghahabol.
And so far, especially in the first two games here today, hindi lang strong start eh. A very sizable lead, already double digits, even up to 20 points, and that has been more than enough so far. And even in our last game, the lead was up to 40-50 points.
Godoy, strong to the rack. First two of the game. Former Mandaluyong Junior Microsmith player. Look at that pass. Able to still see Jeric Aganan on the other end of the floor. Miss on that attempt was Rañeses. Floater. Ayaw pa din. Too deep that time around para kay Reyes. Gahol will run it for the Berbets. Hopping through the lane, but lose that basketball. Turnover once again para sa Mindoro. That's turnover number 7. Godoy. His sidestep goes cross court. Matienzo will try. That's short. Battle for the rebound. Makuha ni Cachuela. His pass inside. Almost foiled. Still 9 to shoot para sa white and pink. Berbets, active hands. Custodio. For the pull-up, that will miss para kay Gahol. Takbo tayo sa kabila. Godoy. Took an extra step. A lot of options he had there. And just when he decided kung kanino niya dapat ipasa, nauna yung kanyang third step.
Probably should have taken the most obvious option of just taking the shot. He had the defense guessing on what he was gonna do, but for both teams on both ends, a lot of unproductive sequences.
Still a 12-point advantage para sa Biñan Tatak Gel, 28-16. 5:38 left in our first half. As the Berbets will turn it over back once again. As I'll take another look at that pass. Gandang hanap. I think that was Kalaluan with that excellent dime. Ball tapped outside. Biñan would keep it on the baseline. Samantala, punta muli tayo kay Nicole Lim for a report. Nicole?
Dito sa Mindoro Berbets, they are more focused sa kanilang rebound dahil sa tingin daw ni Coach Justin, rebound ang kulang sa kanila. Kaya more on defense pa daw sila at magpapakondisyon para mas lalong mag-improve. Nakausap ko rin kanina si Haniel Briones, isa sa mga nakatulong sa Mindoro Berbets to boost the team from their last game against Batangas Barraquitos. And he said that the second game mas sisipagan daw at mas tatrabahuhan pa daw nila ang kanilang depensa at paalala din niya sa kanyang kapwa co-players na magkaroon ng tiwala at sa kakampi kapag nasa loob ng court. This game is also brought to you by Pound for Pound, Move of the Game. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Nicole Lim, for that report. And so far, Daniel Briones, not yet a factor para dito sa Mindoro Berbets after being that top scorer nga despite that loss against Batangas.
And so far, I don't think they've addressed that rebounding issue against Batangas Barraquitos. Out-rebounded 46-30, and so far being out-rebounded 19-11 in this ball game.
Sabi mo nga, kumbaga height-wise, there's a distinct advantage for Biñan. First look pa lang natin with the likes of Burgos, right? Cabonilas even, and Matienzo off the bench. The Hall will take a seat in favor of Kyle Atawa.
Actually, there have been sequences that Rañeses has been just walking into the lane, but unfortunately not able to finish. So that's something that Mindoro will need to take note of.
set is Mindoro. Looking to make a move. Diving for that basketball, keeps it alive. Atawa goes to the corner. De La Luna hits on another three, his second of the game. De La Luna now with 6. Hustling for that basketball and rewarded by Atawa. Trying to close out was Cabonilas, but no luck. The lead down to single digits, 30-21. We have a Nature Spring timeout. Last 4 and 24 of this second quarter. Abante pa rin ng siyam. Itong Biñan Tatak Gel. The Mindoro Berbets after trailing by as much as 14 in this game. Trying to hang in there. We spoke about how great starts put teams into a great position to secure victories. And Mindoro, nakuha nila yung memo na hindi nila hinahayaang bumitaw ng tuluyan itong Biñan here in the second.
And a better start for Mindoro as they give up another basket, just as we say that they've been doing better defensively. They give up an inside point.
And they turn it over after that timeout. So execution on the other end para sa Biñan. Gets Cabonilas another basket. And for the Berbets, add one more turnover to their tally. Go to the corner, Rañeses. Cross court to Hemao. Burgos, Cabonilas. Everybody touching that basketball but short on that attempt. And he will give up that loose ball foul. Team foul number 4, it seems. Oh, second team. Third team foul, it appears, against Biñan.
But the third personal foul for Cabonilas, so that could be a liability moving forward.
Turn it over once again are the Berbets. This is Godoy. His pass deflected and stolen. De La Luna gets the bump, fades away, short. And he will give up that frustration foul. Also the third team foul para sa Berbets. Under 3 minutes left in the first half of action. 32-21. Back to an 11-point lead para sa Biñan.
Well, that's what players will learn. You cannot compound a mistake with another mistake. It's okay to miss. You're not expected to be perfect. It's okay to have the ball stolen, to have your shot blocked. You don't compound that with another mistake by giving up a foul on the right away.
Hemao with a favorite spot. That rattles out. Another opportunity para sa Biñan. Rañeses almost making that basket off that pass. Berbets another chance to trim this lead down. Losing the basketball once again. Another turnover para sa Mindoro. Godoy will be fouled. Plus the hoop. Jeremy Godoy showing us the focus. It was an aggressive rundown coming from Mindoro, but still able to finish. Getting that bump from behind. Coming from Kyle Desacola.
That was an aggressive hit. Really trying to stop Godoy from getting the 2 points. Just showing a lot more focus and strength is Godoy.
Missing on a bonus free throw though, but Burgos right there to clean it up. Burgos now with 9.
Once again, rebounding a problem for Mindoro, giving up the easy 2 points there. No one boxing out Burgos.
The 15-point lead now, the biggest in the game para sa Tatak Gel. Third straight turnover para sa Mindoro Berbets. They cause their own turnover against Biñan. This is Atawa, who Hoops it up, will miss. Look at that, English. Get that basket to go. Lead down to 13, 36 to 23.
That was a 4-on-2 for Mindoro. They were expected to convert and they did.
Cabonilas. It's time to clean up that Godoy miss. Closing into a minute left here in our second quarter. De La Luna able to hit on two. Make that 3-3-pointers now. De La Luna showing us the stroke.
Yes, managed to still keep his team within striking distance.
Almost. An alley-oop slam. Hindi pa tayo pinabigyan ni Gabonilas. Nilapag lang sa ring. Ready to... Look at that play. Ready to explode dito sa Montano Hall. A great capture of that replay. We have a nature spring timeout. Abante ang Biñan ng 14, 40 to 26. Back with the last 45.9 of our second quarter. We're still watching the 18 under South Division matchup between Biñan Tatak and the Mindoro Berbets. Our continuing coverage of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season number 2. Mula pa rin dito sa Montano Hall in Cavite City. Big shout out once again to Mayor Denver Chua for sponsoring and hosting our 6 games this Sunday. We're having a great weekend and thank you for joining us to experience the elite youth basketball action atid sa inyo ng ating Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. Atawa gets that basket off that timeout. So yun nga, Berbets hanging around dito against the firepower of Biñan. But immediately on the other end, Ranieses gets his first 2 of the game.
They're giving up layups on the other end.
Okay, giving up layups on the other end.
But Biñan can afford to because they have the lead.
Back to a 12-point lead. Last shot time. Godoy knows it. Asks them to slow it down. Has 10 to work with. Now calls for this Cabonila screen. Rejects it. Goes behind the back. Almost loses it. Taps it to Cabonila straight away. Too strong on that 3. A second remaining. The buzzer sounds. That 3-pointer will not count. And it would be 42 to 30. Heading into our second half of action. Take another look at that Ranieses finger roll. That's his 4th point rather in the ball game. And at the end of the first half, it's 42 to 30. 12-point lead para sa Tatak Gel. At the half, it's 42-30 in favor of Biñan Tatak Gel. Look at some highlights in our first 2 quarters of action. Mindoro Berbets had their moments trying to outrun itong Biñan Tatak Gel despite that height disadvantage. But it has been Biñan. Several of those end ones proving their might inside. Several players producing, couple of players in double digits as well with Burgos and Hemao with 11. Dito sa kabila, De La Luna leading the way with 11 as well. But Mindoro needs kind of that second, even third scorer to try to recover from what was once a 15-point deficit.
And so far, Biñan has held on mainly because they had that strong start in the first quarter, outscoring Mindoro 24-10. Despite Mindoro outscoring them in the second quarter, better adjustments for Mindoro, and judging from the way that bench sounded during halftime, we're going to expect more adjustments for the side of Mindoro. But if you're Biñan, you just keep on playing your game. They've been very successful attacking the basket, and Mindoro really has not had many answers for that.
The lowest the lead has been is 9. And another lucky fan makakatanggap ng ating Chris Jacob Collections Room and Linen Spray. Fan of the game with some players enjoying their time in the big screens. Of course, Chris Jacob Collection, ating sponsor dito sa ating Junior MPBL. New generation air freshener, room and linen spray, our everyday essential partner in keeping our surroundings feeling fresh, disinfected, and hotel-like. Experience a sense of royalty with Chris Jacob Everywhere Sprays. I don't know about you, Coach Noy, but with a 42-30 score, this is the closest ball game that we've covered so far today.
And we're going to expect Mindoro to play much better here. They're going to have to play better defense in the interior, giving up 16 out of 24 from 2-point area to Biñan. So everything will need to start from the defensive end for Mindoro.
We spoke about how the height has been a key or a distinct advantage para dito sa Biñan Tatak Gel. Mindoro, knowing that you're the smaller team, what do you look more that, for them to do more here in the second half to kind of negate that?
Well, for one thing, of course, the easy answer is to speed up the ball game, but their problem is the taller guys here for Biñan are very agile. They're very long. You've got guys like Cabonillas, you've got Burgos, you've got Pascual, and even Ranieses, who is playing the wing position for them, can easily keep up with Mindoro. But if you're gonna get out rebounded 24-15 the same way in the second half, might as well take your chances and push the pace. Hope to create some turnovers and get those easy baskets for Mindoro.
Rebounding has been the challenge nga for Mindoro Berbets. You spoke about that during the pre-game on how that was one of their downfalls dun sa laban nila against Batangas City. They've yet to figure out how they could do that exactly. But they're hanging in there. You like that they have not allowed Biñan to break this game open. De La Luna. Look at that play. I think the pass was intended para dito kay Baradas. But instead, fell into the hands of Kalaluan.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And cannot really fault miscommunication on that part, as De La Luna has already hit 3 3-pointers in the first half.
Isipin ko din talaga na ititira niya
mo talaga yun, I'm gonna go for the rebound. May isang di naniwala.
Foul whistle here. De La Luna claiming that he was attempting on that shot. It would be Magsino. We whistle for that personal first team foul. Knockout play! Atawa laughing at the defense of Biñan.
No one looking at that time. And Atawa just waltzing in. And cuts the lead down to just 8 points.
It's the lowest it has been after trailing by as much as 15 are the Berbets. But Hemao and Matienzo making sure it's back to double digits.
And so far, whenever there's an attempted rally for Mindoro, itong Biñan has been able to get the necessary baskets to douse those rallies.
Magsino and Baradas trying to possession themselves. That was that play earlier that we were looking for. Parang gandang screen the screener.
Oh, parang trick, that's a trick play right there. Just a good read and a lot of luck.
A lot of luck indeed. 44 to 34, 8 minutes left here in the third. Briones been fairly quiet. The bump, not the finish. I believe 2 shots will be awarded as we head over back to Nicole Lim for a report. Nicole?
As we are now in our second half of the game, Mindoro Berbets fall short at patuloy pa rin na hinahabol ang lamang ng Biñan Tatak Gel. These two teams are very much competitive. Let's see if Mindoro Berbets will be able to clinch and bounces back for their first win for this season, or Biñan Tatak Gel will continue their winning streak. Kayo ba, panelists, ano ba sa tingin nyo ang mananalo for this game?
Thank you once again, Nicole Lim. That question does remain. Hasn't been as clear as day compared to our first 2 games ngayong umaga, where at this point in that ball game at pretty much elementary kung sino yung magwawagi doon. It's nice to see, I guess you could say that it's much more competitive. Neither of these teams would want to give up that lead. And ikaw naman ng Mindoro, ayaw mo rin nga makabitaw itong Biñan.
Well, the easiest answer to that is whichever team has the highest score at the end of the ball game. But you know, at the very least, you know, in the third quarter for the first 2 games, there was really not much doubt on who was going to win. But right now, it's just an 8-point lead, and the momentum seemingly with the side of Mindoro as Biñan continues to struggle from the free throw line.
Magsino off that free throw miss. You know, a boo-boo in the Berbet side. Not boxing out yung shooter. Kadalasan yan din naman talaga yung nakakalimutan eh. No? Kwepestuhan kayo sa loob, but the shooter himself, nobody around him.
And he knows when he missed the shot more often than not. That's why he is able to follow it right away.
Turnaround block. Paradas erased. Godoy, his pass. Anticipated. De La Luna floats it up. Too strong. Gets another chance. PP hit. Will be fouled. Will head to the line for 2.
At that time, if you looked at the face of De La Luna, he was not looking for anybody else. He wanted the responsibility and tried to put his team back into this ball game. And he will get a trip to the free throw line for that effort.
De La Luna leading the way so far para dito sa Mindoro Berbets with 11, the lone player in double digits for the guys in black. The back of 3 3-pointers. So alam mo mainit siya sa labas. Pretty sure he would be a marked man the rest of this ball game. And those shots have really kept Mindoro in it. That's when yung Biñan was threatening na talagang bumitaw ng tuluyan. But with those 3-pointers happening at that exact time, stopping that momentum and kind of resetting this Berbet squad.
What you like about De La Luna, because he hit all those 3-pointers in the first half. Biñan now will be close to force out to close out long, and that's why he's trying to put his head down and get to the basket.
Conscious effort din to make that adjustment. Using that 3-pointer as a threat. Almost losing it on the baseline, but Biñan would keep it with 12 to shoot off that attack from Nico Pascual. Would be Pascual inbounding, gets it to Matienzo. He will try, hit on that spot earlier. Pascual! Able to hit inside, but will be fouled. Rewarded with 2 free throws.
what you like about Biñan, they know where their strength is and they just keep pounding the ball inside. So far, 18 field goals made inside the 2-point region. Points in the paint very much on their side, 34-22.
Like yung in-emphasize mo yun, Noy, eh. Kasi some teams have a distinct advantage, like you said, height-wise, heft-wise, but they don't exactly know how to capitalize
Yeah, they
on
continue
those
to
kind
shoot,
of mismatches.
continue to shoot threes more often than not. But this team, Biñan, has really just been pounding the ball inside. That's wave after wave. Even when they go to their bench, they still have the bigger players.
Atawa gets that ball to trickle in. Atawa so far, give him 6. Losing his balance is Pascual. Turns it over. Gets it ahead to De La Luna. Finishes. Keeping that balance. And just like that, the lead is down to 5, 47-42. With 5 and 27 left here in the third, Biñan will call for this Nature Springtime out. Take another look at that move. Just getting the bump. Right separation. Focus to finish despite that contact. We'll be back with more of your junior MPBL. Back with the last 5 and 27 of our third quarter. Here, Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season number 2. Jaime Mendihar still here with Coach Noy Africa and Nicole Lim from the beautiful Montano Hall in Cavite City. Huge thank you once again to Mayor Denver Chua for his support in hosting all the 6 games that we have this Sunday. Magandang tanghali po sa inyong lahat. Hope you're having or have had a great lunch. And being treated to is very competitive 18-under matchup between Biñan and Mindoro. The lead is down to just 5. Was as high as 15 para sa Biñan. As Himao missing on that reverse.
So far, Mindoro has outscored Biñan 12-5 in this third quarter.
Atawa. It has been Atawa and De La Luna making things happen dito. Itong very speedy backcourt of the Berbets. So they turn it over. Godoy trying to fight for it. Bodies on the floor. Jump ball will be called. Possession arrow. Babalik sa Biñan ng bola.
So let's see what kind of response we're gonna get from Biñan, as you see right there.
So De La Luna. Good as a turnover na rin, I would say. Losing it to Godoy. The starter is now back here para sa Tatak Gel. Cabonilas, Godoy, Hemao, Matienzo as well. Cabonilas! Really showing us this athleticism.
I don't think
Teasing us.
I don't think there's any mystery as to where Biñan will go whenever they need a basket. They're gonna go inside. At that time, Cabonilas showing that he can go coast to coast too.
He's tempted me twice already. Parang sinusubo lang niya when I feel like
He's gonna go for it.
if he took just maybe 1% more, he could slam it home. We still have 4 minutes left here in the third and a fourth quarter to possibly see that. Atawa missing long. Custodio will be called for that push of that rebound battle against Cabonilas. It's 49-42. 7-point lead. Inaalagaan dito ng Biñan. 3.5 left here in the third. Pascual. Looking inside. Recovered by Godoy. Cabonilas goes to Matienzo. Fakes out his defenders, showing us the vision.
This time rewinding his co-big man, Matienzo.
Briones will miss from outside. This is Hemao against Satawa. Inside to Cabonilas. Stolen. De La Luna. Through traffic. Gets clipped. No end one para kay De La Luna. Instead, have to earn it from the stripe.
See De La Luna just looking for any cracks, any seams on that defense. Able to get all the way to the rim. But hoping to come closer. They're now currently down by 9. But they put Biñan in the penalty. So for the rest of the 2:51 remaining in the third quarter, that's something that they can take advantage of.
And I asked earlier how they can negate that height advantage. That's one way I would say that ito nga, De La Luna still attacking despite those tall trees inside. Penalty na dito ang Biñan, so they can't be as aggressive, I would say, in getting those blocks. Cabonilas will lose that basketball and Mindoro would keep it. Shot clock will reset to 14 after that charity split coming from De La Luna.
And you can attack the defense of Cabonilas because he already has 3.
De La Luna thought about the 3. Marked man right now. Baseline jumper. That converts. Lead down to 6, 51 to 45. Godoy to Matienzo. Inside Cabonilas. Godoy. Maybe that shot. Cabonilas recovers. Gets it to Hemao for 3. Malakas. De La Luna tracks it down. Mindoro naman ang tatakbo. He will pull up for 3. Rattles out. Pascual with the board. Takbo naman tayo dito sa kabila. They have a 3-on-2. Bibit-bit. Jeremy Godoy.
This time, Jeremy Godoy keeping the basketball as we see some color developing underneath.
A mix of white, pink, black, and green.
That's Hemao, and I think De La Luna getting into it.
Seems like Hemao didn't like that contact. That's what he is demonstrating to the officials. Of course, we would have a benefit of a review, and everyone here in Montano Hall will have a chance to see it in the big screens.
And we don't have just one, but 2 wide screens.
Oh!
The referee shouldn't.
Of course, our officials can have their own review of the play, not in a more intimate setting.
They did call it earlier, so they're allowed to review this.
So it appears that the initial contact was given by De La Luna, and Hemao did react.
That's what's important to note is both of the hits over the head, over the shoulder. So interesting to see how the referees will mete out the penalties.
Wait for the announcement.
Biñan Tatak, number 26, out of the play court.
Yeah, they're gonna both be thrown out.
Berbets, number 13, De La Luna, out of the play court, riding stand.
That's big.
You know, even during season 1, they're very strict with these calls.
Ball possession of Mindoro.
Always, you know, the intention is to prevent anything untoward from happening. And so far, it has been very successful for the referees as a countermeasure against violence on the court.
So So the call was Hemao and De La Luna out of the playing court.
Because evidently that hit by De La Luna on Himao was intentional. You could see that the elbow was planted to hit Himao. Unfortunately, the retaliation by Himao was a hit on the head too. So that's why the referees called disqualifying fouls on both players. Now the question is, who suffers more? De La Luna has been that spark so far for Mindoro all game long. It's not only here in the second half. In the first half, he was the guy who kept his team within striking distance. But on the other hand, you've got Hemao, who already has 11 points, but has been very quiet in the second half. So let's see who actually suffers more from the ejection of two key players.
Of course, you can argue that De La Luna, alam mo naman you're playing well. Alam mo that, especially this third quarter, baga yung hangin parang napupunta dito sa side ng Mindoro Berbets. And I'm pretty sure his absence will be felt. Like you said, yet to see who actually would feel it the most in the absence of these key players. Maybe display evident that kasi si De La Luna, pag nasa kanya yung bola, you feel like he can create of that dribble, but no longer the case. He's not gonna be with this Berbets team for the remaining of this game.
Well, that's something the kids here in the junior MPBL will learn. Sometimes the goal is always to help your team get a victory. If you're the main guy, you're the one who has brought your team back, the last thing you need is to get thrown out. You know, do not get involved in those individual skirmishes, because it's all what's always important are the team victories.
Sabi mo nga, intentional eh.
Intentional, yeah.
It's not like you got thrown out because, you know, it was nagreklamo ka, right? It was a contact that you initiated. You removed yourself out of the game. Turnover para sa Berbets. Tatakbo dito ang Biñan. Cabonilas. Flying once again. Finishing with that left. Who's in us? Dito sa Montano Hall.
Like the way he finishes with a purpose. There's no way you're gonna block this shot. You're gonna get as high up as me for you to stop me.
He gets the rebound on the other end. Yeah, even though they would be playing the rest of this game without Hemao, you can argue that there are still a number of players that they could go to. Case in point, Cabonilas after that lefty layup. Burgos has been fairly quiet, played great with 11 in the first half. So mas may options, I would say, itong Biñan compared to De La Luna, where that second scorer we've yet to find in this game so far.
Well, easily, Biñan has a lot more weapons, especially since their game is predicated inside, and they've got a lot of tall players. It's, I think, more important than Hemao for Biñan is the play of Jeremy Godoy, how he sets up his bigs. And his bigs have also been very unselfish with each other.
Right on cue, Godoy comes up with that steal. Look at that pass, but Pascual can't hit on that shot as the buzzer sounds to end the third. It would be 55 to 47. Still an 8-point lead para sa Biñan Tatak Gel. Heading into the last 10 minutes of action. I look at some highlights in that third quarter. That lucky play, I would say, coming from De La Luna. A couple of players featured here that would no longer be playing, Hemao and De La Luna. Atawa also chipping in on his key baskets, trying to keep their team in it. Cabonilas treating us, those high-flying acts, and those dimes as well. They need to do more of that in the absence of Hemao for the rest of the game. Also, that offense of De La Luna will no longer be present for the Berbets, and at the end of the third, it would be 55 to 47. Abante pa rin ng 8 ang Biñan. Fourth and final quarter in this 18 under matchup of Biñan Tatak and the Mindoro Berbets. This rubber match sa ating 18 under division. 14 napanalo nga po ng Biñan, 16 napanalo ng Mindoro. So far Biñan has been protecting this lead successfully, but Briones hitting on that three-pointer, lead down to 5 once again. Ito yung 5-point lead, nababa nila in that third quarter, but this was the barrier that they weren't able to overcome. Biñan has always had the answer. Too strong on that shot was Burgos. So 9 to shoot. Cabonilas, wide open jumper, short para kay Montañez, but there to clean it up once again is Cabonilas, showing us he can also get those types of baskets even if yung walang buwelo.
And about to hit double-double already. 12 points, 9 rebounds for Cabonilas for that pound-for-pound fitness, foul counted. In his first ball game, actually also had a double-double. So this could be a two straight games of double-doubles for Cabonilas, although he needs a lot of work from the free throw line. In his first game, he finished with 15 points and 14 rebounds. And that is a double-double now for Cabonilas.
Hinanap mo eh. Pinagbigyan ka naman immediately.
Para hindi ka na mapagod magbilang.
Cabonilas goes to Pascual. Shot clock down to 9. Rañeses takes a peek at the clock. Goes to Burgos with that finger roll. Okay. Burgos with that basket extend this lead to 9, 59 to 50. Berbets would like to talk it over. So late in 45 remaining here in the fourth. We have a Nature Spring timeout. It's 59 to 50. Biñan with this 4-0 run. Weather the storm na dala nitong Mindoro Berbets was 55 to 50. Berbets threatening to inch closer. But each and every time, Biñan had the response. Off that timeout, let's see what Mindoro has drew up. This is Atawa. Kick out. Wide open. Way short. Trying to save it. Gets it to Briones. Can't hit on another one. Trying to save it. Eventually lose it. Fast break opportunity para sa Biñan. Atawa had to give up that foul. Heading to the line is Rañeses for Tatak Gel.
Rañeses not really scored heavily, but he puts a lot of pressure on the defense of the much smaller Mindoro Berbets. He plays pretty much the wing. Can play the 2 or the 3. Can even play the 1. And this is a tall wing for the Biñan Tatak, and he has caused some problems. Even if, again, he has only 4 points in this ball game, has been a defensive matchup nightmare for Mindoro.
I know may positions tayo sa basketball, right? But the players of itong Biñan squad, no, parang wing sila lahat.
Everything is interchangeable. You've got wings masquerading as a 4 or 5.
Briones with that sweet floater over Burgos. Back to a 9-point lead. Atawa, call for that hold, trying to stop that attack coming from Rañeses. That would be team foul number 3 now against Mindoro. Have to be
Actually,
careful.
if you take out the numbers of Pascual, Cabunilas, and Burgos, I don't think you can distinguish them from this far.
Wide open is Rañeses, unable to hit. Rebound battle, secured by the Berbets. Atawa directing traffic. Looking to penetrate. Great find, but unable to finish. Inside was Dean Custodio. They would keep it though at the baseline. Shot clock will reset to 14.
14 seconds to shoot.
Looking for Atawa, but ball is stolen. But stepping on the sideline, or a foul will be called here against Pascual.
First personal foul on Nico Sebastian
That's
Pascual.
just his first.
Substitution. Joshua Vilchula.
The Hall will take a seat. So 7 and 13 left in this ball game. Briones almost loses it. Loose ball scramble. Biñan will recover. Rañeses. Goes to the corner. Rañeses once again will be fouled. That would be team foul number 4 now against the Mindoro Berbets. Next foul will mean free throws para sa Tatak Gel.
And for a team trying to pull off a rally, being limited with the way you play defense because of the penalty situation could be a problem for Mindoro.
Cross court. Attacking the baseline. Gets the bump, but cleanup job once again. No other than Wilhelm Cabunilas.
Now with 14 points to go with 11 rebounds and 4 assists.
Parang napaganda yung bangga doon dahil hindi na nakapwesto yung rebounder ng Mindoro and taking full advantage. Cabunilas, Wilhelm Lawrence Cabunilas. What a game he's had so far, especially in the absence of Hemao, who was thrown out earlier together with De La Luna of Mindoro. Figured in a skirmish late in the third quarter. So you were asking nga kanina, Noy, that who would feel it most? Is it the absence of Hemao for Biñan or the absence of De La Luna for Mindoro? And so far, at least in my assessment,
Seems like Biñan doesn't miss Hemao at all. As Cabunilas now with 15 points, 11 rebounds, and more impressively, out of those 11 rebounds, 7 coming from the offensive glass.
almost a turnover. They lose it on the sidelines. So 18 left on the clock para sa Berbets. Trailing by 12, 64 to 52. With 6 and 24 left on the clock. Godoy checking back in lieu of Rañeses. Montañez as well. Replaced by Cortez. Stolen by Burgos. Knockout play, nabasa. Atawa. Able to intercept that pass. Briones. Can't finish over Burgos. Pascual hounded and will be fouled. Mapipituhan dito. It seems to be Kyle Desacola.
Kyle Desacola claiming that he had all ball but really had a lot of arm. And the worst part of it is there are in the penalty. So that's going to mean 2 free throws for Pascual.
That was the foul whistled against Desacola, rather. Penalty na nga yung Berbets. Thus, free throws awarded to Pascual where he is able to hit on that first. His lead was just 5. 55 to 50. 1 point in that third quarter. So this is an 11 to 2 run. Brought out by Biñan. As Hawe itatawag dito against Cortez. With team foul number 2 against Tatak Gel.
Actually, a good read there by Cortez. Just came in a little too late, had to push off. Was called for the foul.
I have that sense that Biñan and their defense, mas nakakasakal na sila in the last few minutes of this game.
Especially without the threat of De La Luna from the outside.
Ball bounces out of bounds. Besacola and Briones unable to connect on that instance.
So far, aside from De La Luna, it has only been Briones who has been able to hit from the outside, and that's why Biñan content on just sitting inside the paint and protecting the paint.
Pascual, mga tutuklaw, will head to the line for 3 free throws as Besacola will be whistled, hitting the shooting arm.
So that's why it's going to be free throws for Pascual. Aside from the fact that Mindoro is already in the penalty.
Would have been free throws regardless, but yeah, that cardinal sin, fouling a jump shooter,
in the shooting arm.
hitting the shooting arm, of course. That would always be a foul.
Oh yeah.
And slowly but surely, itong Biñan, not just answering that run coming from Mindoro Berbets where it was once a 5-point lead na lamang. It's now up to 15.
And really looking to put the game away, especially with the efforts of this big wing lineup in the Pascual, Cabonilas, and Burgos. And of course, don't forget, Jeremy Godoy's been quiet on the offensive end, but he has been that motor that has been running this Biñan attack in the fourth.
But I like how Jeremy Godoy, kasi mas main man to sa Mandaluyong in season number 1 eh. He's able to make that adjustment, like fill in that role na kailangan naman siya dito sa Biñan because you have the likes of Cabonilas nga and Hemao that may be more that offensive threat. So Godoy could focus more on the orchestration, I would say, compared to his role na yun naman yung naatasan sa kanya in the Junior Micro Smith team of Coach Mark Herrera.
Of course, moving forward, unless he gets a growth spurt, he's pretty much slated to play point guard if he gets to play in college and in the pros. So I think this is really the best situation for the development of the game of Jeremy Godoy because we all know he can score. We've seen him play for Mandaluyong. We know he's a proven scorer. He's a very capable defender. The only thing missing for him is to prove his worth and that he can make that transition to being a playmaker.
Whistle sounds, signaling a Mindoro Berbets Nature Spring timeout. We'll be back with the last 4 and 44 of this game. It's 69 to 52, 17-point advantage para sa Biñan Tatak Gel with the last 4 and 44 of this game. Of this Nature Spring timeout, Mindoro will be looking for one final run. They were able to bring it down to 5, Coach Noy, but yun nga, that was the barrier that they weren't able to break through. Talking about the Berbets.
And a 14-2 run to pretty much create the separation for Biñan. Unless something miraculous happens, looks like Biñan will run away with this victory.
And run away with the series victory as well. After winning that 14-under matchup, Mindoro bumawi sa 16 and it does appear like Biñan is in prime position to move into 2-0 in the season. Although that basket makes it just a bit interesting. Was a conversion coming from Joshua Kagikla. Immediately on the other end, that was Mota with a conversion, 71-54, back to a 17-point lead, under 4 minutes remaining in this game. Can't hit on that three is Desacola. Another rebound para dito kay Cabonilas.
Well, these days, a 17-point lead with 3:40 remaining is not safe. But the problem for Mindoro, the only guy who has shown any ability to consistently hit from the outside has already been thrown out, De La Luna. And they're going to need a string of three-pointers to make this game closer.
But the absence of that threat. Kasi nung nakatatlo na nga siya dun sa first half, Noy, Biñan had a more conscious effort in closing out hard against him, and that opened up the space dito sa mga other players ng Mindoro as they're able to hit right on the buzzer.
Especially you're going up against a team with a very distinct height advantage. Really, your only option is to either speed up the pace or really space out that floor, make those bigs come out and extend their defense, and hopefully give you some opportunities inside.
As it's Biñan's turn to call their Nature Springtime out. Up by 17 with 2:58 left in this game. And take another look at that layup coming from Mindoro. May baba ang kalamangan, but they need a lot more of that in their attempt to come back in this game. Balik tayo dito sa Montano Hall in Cavite City, where Biñan is up by 17, 73-56 against the Mindoro Berbets. A great venue we have here. Thank you once again, Mayor Denver Chua, for hosting us here this Sunday. Berbets looking to maybe end on a positive note. 17-point deficit, by no means insurmountable, but yeah, the way that Biñan has been playing, every time that Mindoro came knocking at the door, hindi nga pinagbubuksan man lang. May parang konting puwang. Throughout Mindoro's efforts, only the lead was down to as low as 5.
Whenever they needed an answer, they knew what to do. They had to go inside, and that's where they've been very successful in this ball game. Already inside, 52-30 advantage in points in the paint.
Yan naman ang hinihiling natin. Not the cleanest of dunks, but we'll take it from Cabonilas.
But you like the effort because twice already you knew that he had enough momentum, enough, just a matter of the elevation to go for that slam. That time, a better effort for Cabonilas to give us some kind of a highlight.
Now has 17 in this game. The last 2 minutes. Announced dito sa Montano Hall. Players, of course, preparing for the next set of 3 games that we'll have this afternoon. The Quezon Junior Huskers will go up against the hometown team of the Cavite City Aces Solar, the defending champions sa ating 14 under division. Won't be surprised that the people here in Montano Hall will be starting to fill our venue in anticipation nga of those 3 games. A Sunday treat. Atid sa inyo ng ating Manny Pacquiao sa Junior MPBL. Biñan could afford to slow it down. Milk as much clock as they could. Seems to be consciously looking for the players that have yet to score in this game to put some points up. Shot clock does run out.
They were too busy trying to set up Nunez for a good look, but Mindoro not having any of it, continuing to try and play better defense. This is still a vast improvement for Mindoro after losing by 30 against the Batangas Barraquito. So if you're Coach Justin Moreto, you're still looking for those baby steps to eventually become a contender here in the second season of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
You have a long season ahead of us. And while you will be starting this season at 0-2, a lot of room to grow. Especially nga for De La Luna, we were talking about earlier in this decision making. You know that you are the lone threat. That player that's making an impact and making a dent, giving your team an opportunity to secure a victory. Talagang ramdam na ramdam yung pagkawala niya rito. The whole of the fourth quarter was when Biñan really kind of slowly but surely inched their way to building this biggest lead now at 19. Nunez. So Kent get a basket. Last 45 seconds of this game. Biñan. So trying to get Nunez that first points of the game. Fortunately, still unable to do so. La Sala gets that layup. One last substitution para sa Biñan. 26.5 seconds left. It's 75 to 58. 17-point advantage para sa Biñan. Samaniego in the ball game para sa Biñan will be called for a double dribble. Still called off that bench.
And right now, everybody just getting an opportunity to play.
Yun naman ang gusto mo for any coach, right? That we talked about it in the 16 under game earlier on how reps, minutes, regardless of how few or how many, can be your audition piece to your coaches to possibly give you more of that exposure in your succeeding games.
And for the coaches to be given more options moving forward, again, with what they're trying to do on the court, what kind of team you want to form, and the ability now to evaluate your pieces, seeing them in action on the game floor. So for all of the kids, even when you ride the bench, whenever you get that opportunity, stay ready and show out when you get that opportunity.
Our final score would be 75 to 60. Biñan with this wire-to-wire victory, finishing with a 15-point win. Moving to 2-0 sa ating team standings. Still undefeated is Tatak Gel. Samantalang Mindoro Berbets will now slide to 0-2 to begin their campaign. Without Hemao for the rest of the game after that skirmish with De La Luna. This guy stepped it way up. Way up with that slam. Treated to us by Cabonilas, and siya nga ang kasama ni Nicole Lim for our Don Benito's Best Player of the Game.
Kasama ko nga ngayon ng ating player of the game na si William Lawrence Cabonilas from Biñan Tatak Gel. Chubbs, sa tingin mo, what was the winning technique na sa tingin yung ginawa niyo for winning this game?
Ginawa lang namin lahat. Papasalamat din ako kay God na tulungan lang kami kahit wala kaming training at sipagan lang namin araw-araw.
Meron ka bang gustong batiin na pasalamatan na sumusuporta sa inyo?
Binabati ko yung pamilya ko, mama ko, mamalita, papa ko, sila kuya. So, gumagala ngayon sa Boracay, mga coaches sa FPU, mga nasa dorm, tsaka sa Max Bowlers, sa mga Cabonilas Compound, taga San Jose Indigos at mga kakampi ko dyan sa Davao. Shoutout sa inyo at tsaka sa ninong ko. Yan lang.
Once again, congratulations to our player of the game and of course sa Biñan Tatak Gel. Pasalamatan din natin ang ating sponsor na Don Benitos for providing a sumptuous Filipino delicacy to our player of the game. Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasaba. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Nicole, and congratulations once again, Wilhelm Lawrence Cabonelas being our best player of the game. Monster double-double for this kid. And that wraps up our 3 games this morning. Biñan will take home this 18-under victory and that virtual 2-1 victory sa ating 3-game series. Coming right up is the 18-under matchup naman of the Quezon Junior Huskers and the Cavite City Aces Solar in their own 3-game slate. Diyan lamang po kayo, magbabalik pa po ang inyong Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL, ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino.
Liga